And we are back live. Cool. Today we're going to be working on day 2 of the inventory system. We're going to get inventory sorting working. We're going to kind of extend this thing, take different kind of shapes of stuff. But for the time being, I think once I get the dropping functionality kind of working, then we're pretty much good. Yeah, so we'll rebuild the item grid from the data. And we'll make sure on remove, we're also removing it. How to get down right account. Mm-hmm. They're gonna return. Can I drop item in a cooler slot? Okay. Uh, hmm. Reach those slots. Yeah, so the slot set item should do everything. And then finally, we want to let's do the same as the slot button. All right, and I'll be right back, and we'll finish this. So we gotta get the sorting working. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Do 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 do. We're out of bounds on grid. I'm ready. Up slots. I don't think we need that index. We'll see. You know?
Badness.
What?
Badness.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's a release here. Alright, so where's the source slot? Item select review I. Equipment slot. Right, as if we're dragging it here from the equipment slot. Chew. What a guy. How's it going? Welcome to Inventory Management 101. Where we write terrible code and then attempt to clean it up later on. Yeah, I think we're just gonna read a reset, a universal reset. We'll do all of this. And we're gonna make it visible. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, so this needs to be reset. Hey, how's working with UI in Godot versus Unity? Much nicer. I really like the UI system in Godot. There's a lot of like layers to it, but like it's been pretty good. Like for example, as well as working on yesterday, like if I go and turn on my controller and we just select something here. You know, there we go. All right, all of the controller input is working fine. Ignore the hover. So we're just trying to get like good controller support and you know, making everything work is a pain, but it's like that with any engine, really. But I'm hoping, and the goal is to get this working this week. At least like, you know, the UI side of it, like kind of how it all works with UI and is it like web components? How do you set up drag and drop here? There's built-in methods for a lot of this stuff, right? Like if I'm just using control nodes, because I have converted everything over to buttons, but they don't need to be buttons, right? So like on the item itself, on the control, you get the global rectangle and say if it has a point, and I'm just getting from the relationship of the grid itself, the global mouse position. And hey, now I know if my mouse is, you know, within that element, right? So, and you could also just subscribe to all the events. There's literally like, you know, like here's a button definition for like an add button, button.pressed, subscribing to the, right, add button pressed, which is telling the grid to add an item from the database. Right, it's very straightforward, and it has a lot of like so many cool things, like the different nested components, right? Like margin container, you can set your padding, and it's pretty good. It has like, you know, different, you know, layout types. You can kind of make it be fully reactive or dynamic, or right. It takes a little bit of kind of getting used to like everything, but it's pretty good. Bergian says hello. Do you mind if I ask something silly? Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to pick a tool for my 2D game in Unreal Engine 5, which I really like is overkill and unnecessarily heavy. I've been reading the documentation today for Godot, Hosted by networking and physics. Networking seems good. Physics seems to be on the weak side. On 2D, it's not really much of an issue. What root node type would you use for an enemy? It depends on what type of enemy it is. If it's a character that's moving around, it'd probably be a character body 3D. If it's a 2D enemy that's going to be moving around, probably be a character body 2D. If it's going to be a nav agent, you know, that's moving around automatically, right? That might be a nav agent, or, you know, like, it depends on what the enemy is. It's like, what is the enemy, right? If the enemy is a rigid body, you know, if it's a ship, right, that requires physics, it's going to be a rigid body 2D or a rigid body 3D, you know? So that's the question, really, is not what root node is the enemy. What is the enemy? Fundamentally, at its core. Like, what is the core thing that is moving around that defines what the enemy is? Yeah, when we get, so we get index out of bounds when we because the element already exists. How is physics working for the SD killer? Right now it's just standard old Godot physics, but I may be moving things over the jolt if I run into any issues. 2D game, it moves in a set path until it gets close to the player where it changes how it moves. They're probably a navigation agent 2D. Right? So the root would probably be a navigation agent, and you would extend the navigation agent. You know, given that the navigation agent itself would be doing, you know, most of the movement logic. But it doesn't have to be. It could be very well something else. It could be a character body 2D or vice versa. You could have things as subcomponents kind of doing things. But the general rule is if it's going to be a rigid body at all, the root has to be a rigid body. You know, if it's going to be a character body 3D or 2D for that matter, then the root node's going to be that. How's it going, Mongolo? Yeah, on the 2D side of things, you get a couple of different physics engines. Like if we go to physics 2D, you know, you could use the standard Godot physics 2D. In the older versions of Godot, I think it's Bullet. So there's another one. There was a new one. What was it? Rapier? Nah. Maybe it was Rapier. I don't know. There's always options. What was the one someone was showing me? Someone was showing me a really cool one. Maybe it was Box 2D. No, this one's on. Yeah, this is unmaintained. Currently focusing more on the Rapier. Oh, okay. So Box 2D did become Rapier. Gotcha. Which is super cool for 2D. Yeah, for most things, you probably go to character body 2D, 3D. First for ease of use when it comes to like use and move and slide and collide. Yep. Because even if you use that, and then you had a child navigation agent which referenced the parent, you know, you could still, you know what I mean, like use both for the AI logic. Because you're going to need to feed it some velocity anyway and move and slide, and you'll just get that velocity from the navigation agent. So like what Mongolo was saying, like using character body 2D, if it is a 2D game. Jolt. Jolt physics is created by the developers of Horizon Forbidden West. And in the video sample section, as an example, they have some amazing examples. It's pretty stable. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Murgan. Well, yeah, definitely looking at probably switching things over to Jolt, but I haven't really needed to worry about it right now. Right, it's been stable, really, and until things are not stable, then we'll switch it over. Right, that's usually always the way things are anyway. Yeah, so it's still not resetting. So let's drop these. Why is it dropping from the source? Oh, I see the issue. Oh, look, an inventory. Would that require forking it out? No, you just add the extension. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah, so if we're dropping... Yeah, if we're in the drop panel, we're doing drop. But only if we're... Yeah, if we're dropping from them, we're removing it. If we're dropping from the slot, we're clearing the slot. So at no point should we be removing it from the inventory. Yeah, that is superb. What a powerful feature. Imagine that in Unreal Engine 5 would bring good old... We'll just bring back good old physics instead of the pathetic chaos. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it resetting? When we're equipping the slot, can I like not reset that for the time being? Right, because this works. And in reverse. Okay, so... Alright, so we're not removing it when we equip it for the time being. Yeah, when we release, this needs to be actually clearing those references, and it's not. For what it's worth, though, forking Godot and using local editor builds is incredibly easy. Compile time so fast, use Spirit's pulling a cache binary from the build bot. Yeah. Yeah, but you're losing the streamlined updates from the retail in forking Godot. Hey, Brohart, how's it going? That's why. Happy Thursday, Revere. Yeah, it's Box 3D. So bored, I'm even looking up how to mod on Twitch. Oh no, don't do that. Soon you'll become effective at what you do, you know? And you'll need to like moderate other things. Well, it's like if you're consistently pulling from upstream, you're not far enough into the project for it to matter. I have a feeling that's probably what Godot is going to end up doing for next. I'd say for the next 3 months, it's just going to be upstream, standard Godot build until they. Oh yeah. So why is drop doing that? Why is the drop function if we're coming from a source clearing from our inventory? And not always, what? I'm gonna refresh my PC with a new case, but sitting there now waiting for file transfers for my large and slow storage drive. Inexpensive cars driving like they belong to GTA or random texture glitches. What is that? I waste about 6 months building something that would just work fine in like 4.27. My stance on UE5 physics solver is thank God it's not Unity 2019 physics solver. It wouldn't that just be old version of physics as well, like the NVIDIA physics library? Because they both use physics at one point. Why is Ed showing my little... Physics in 2024 is something else. It uses another tool. USD created from Omniverse, Isaac, and created from Omniverse and Isaac Sim. Unity had its own plugin for Havoc that was I was interested in, but it had its own like Unity physics engine. I know Unity physics has its own thing for dots. Physics in like 2024 is superb, but resource heavy. It's a shame the GPU physics implementation wasn't used much. Yeah, just the SDK. Oh, tired. Oh, okay, hang on. Public. Alright, so we need to get sorting and a few other things working. Mhm. So in sorting, let's see. Alright, so we're sorting the grid itself of data, but not necessarily the buttons. And we could just do a redraw as well, the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, because they had to be re-indexed. It'd be annoying. What was the backpack dimensions? Backpack dimensions. Did I write them down? No, I do not remember. So I'm moving files to clean up, so I can also do a fresh install as I move all hardware over to the case. It's been so long. It's up, man. Fresh installs are absolutely great. I can't find, like, I literally saved the dimensions for the backpacks here somewhere, and now I can't find it. And I thought it was under ideas. I don't see it here under ideas. I'm like, what? I already have like a 2 terabyte empty drive. I want to get 2 4 terabytes for the development rig and set them up in a RAID, like 2 M.2s, but they're so expensive. Yeah, no, I didn't say why. And I didn't stick it in progress. No. I must have sent it to myself somewhere. It's in the kit. Yeah. Don't stop there, go full ZFS. I won't need a ZFS for it. I'm just gonna set up a mirror, that's all. It'll only be 2 M.2s, unless I had 3, then I'd probably go full ZFS and set up a pool. Like a RAID 5, or whatever the ZFS equivalent would be. But, you know, limitations. I'm like sitting here with Wiz, like, there's the backpack we're working on. And I literally saved the dimensions for this thing. And I have no idea where I put it. So I want to do a gray box to stick into the build in case this one's not done. For Sunday, like my goal for Sunday is to have a basic inventory pushed to Patreon. That'll toggle, you know, all the inventory slots and be able to dequip and equip things. So we can actually start, you know, dropping items, sharing items, picking up things and actually like storing them. Nope. Yeah, no, I can't find it. It's so weird. Yeah, it sucks. I need to figure out what that number was. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know where I actually set that standard because I had already defined that gray box shape and I wrote it down somewhere and I don't remember. Weird. I think it was 35 by 25 by 5. It was a standard metric that we used for everything else. But I think it was shorter. Yeah, I think it was 325. Yeah, I'm like second guessing myself. Yeah, it's really just sorting that needs to be reorganized, which is annoying because we had to re-index by vector 2 the new things. They were changing really the keys and not the values, or we're like removing at that point and kind of redoing them. I think what we'll do, yeah, maybe we'll actually. I was kidding. I wonder if I put it in ClickUp. I'm actually curious now. Like, I'm pretty sure I set the standard for the backpacks. Make equipment spawnable, despawnable. Okay, that's done. Switch to model functionalities, player net, left dynamic, switching to player model, whatever, reloading, respawning. That has issues currently. That's number 1 on the list next. This is going in the backlog for the time being. Paired spawning push from Unforgiven systems, that we can do. Engineer asteroid system. Add BMD terminals to the security. Yeah, we could do that. Inventory grid. Oh, grid, okay, so that'll start grid. Private buttons. And I'm going to use some chat GPT. Just say that our buttons. Right, generic dictionary, Godot.Victor2, I monolithic inventory grid to collection of dictionary. Monolithic inventory grid. What do you mean it's casting to the same pair? Order by pair, dictionary, pair. Generic dictionary, Godot vector 2 I monolithic inventory grid button. The monolithic collections dictionary. Oh wait, we're doing from generic dictionary to regular dictionary. Let's order by. Oh, because it's not a system collections. Order by system affection generic I enumerator. Generic key pair. Why? And then to dictionary. Maybe it needs to be like 2. Having fun? Squirrel Lords Gaming? So far, yeah. Item button slot. Ordered by our key selector. Right, then by. Right, pair Y. Y. Right, and this should be 2, and this is 2 Godot dictionary. Oh yeah, 'cause is the return type on this a Godot or a systems dictionary? Or maybe we don't actually need. Maybe we actually don't need to cast it. And that'll be cool. Just curious if that sorts. Item buttons. No. How are you doing, Squirrel Lord Gaming? Right, so in the 2 dictionary. Yeah, it should be pair. I think we just need to add a 2 Godot dictionary at the end. Pair.key. Pair. Pair.value. Oh. Can I cast? We do like an explicit. No. Convert systems collection dictionary. Godot dictionary. I'm trying to be lazy and wasting time. So to do it, you can create a new Godot dictionary, populate with key value pairs from the generic. That's. Okay, so I can't be lazy and just use my little link statement. Alright, we'll do it this way. And we'll just resort them. So yeah, and we'll get from this. How's it going? It's going. Yeah, we're just going to temporarily. Cache these into a flat array. I'm just doing things. You winning? I'm always winning. I see you enjoying the life writing inventories. Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, because there's a little bit of code smell right now, a little tiny bit. You know, reshuffling things, especially when they're keyed in a Godot dictionary by Vector 2. Fine, but yeah, because I don't want to have to go and query. We want to use the buttons that are already there. We're just going to reshuffle them by a new index. So we're just going to add them to a cache. And then we're going to reset our grid. Then we're going to iterate through our grid. And so we're going to create an int, an IDX, and that'll be 0. We're just going to iterate over our buttons. And we're going to rekey them until we run out. Is inventory management gonna matter? Will items be different sizes? Am I choosing to use a grid-based inventory? Yeah, I am. Yep. Something kind of like Charkov-ish, but a little bit more simpler. Let me. Right. So the idea, I'll just kind of explain the concept. So we have items right in the backpack. And I'm using a one-to-one. The idea is in the resource. If I kind of break this down, move this off screen. Right, so we have items. Right, the items themselves have an item resource. The item resource defines the texture. Right, because I'm going to pre-bake all my textures, and it kind of dynamically puts them center scale, like center scale width. Right, so they could be any shape really, but you know we're going to unify the texture rendering to be at most 2-to-1, right? So 2x 1 high for a lot of things. So it's either gonna be 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, right? As far as size dimension is concerned. So we have different items. So there's the item ID. The cell size is the representation of the volume in the standard 100 by 100 grid, right? So if you want to make something really big, it can be like 2x2. And that's the idea of having this vector 2i array, is we would just take all 4, starting with the first one of where it truly is, we would block out, kind of like a voxel system, we block out, the adjacencies to the same index, the same kind of reference. So that way it's filling up volume kind of correctly. So we have here's my item database. So here's all the things that we can, spawn in. To the inventory system. We have the inventory system plugged into the UI. So the UI has the item database that it has to work with. It has the prefabs for different inventory slot types. And then, back to this, right? So we can kind of select things. I have it set up so we have full controller support, right? So I can move around, go to the left, go to the right, move between the different types, interact with the slot. All right, so getting that in now, right? We can unequip all this stuff. We can equip new stuff, and this is what I'm trying to do. Right now, it's just taking kind of the first instance. It's not caring about which item, only that the item type is moving. Like we're moving this item resource from here to here. When I'm dragging, like if I drop this gun, there's high probability this is the one that disappears, but it still all works, right? So validates that we're dropping a item. So how come this setup versus list based, similar to New World? I love New World's inventory for that type of game. Is New World list based? Kinda. Or Skyrim, I guess. Gotcha. For me, it's just a visual feedback. Like lists are great, but when you're trying to find something very quickly, it might be easier to just be able to quickly visualize it and hover over it to get the stats of it, and be able to kind of quickly, okay, now I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of this. I want to equip this gun, this multi-tool, and a med pin. I want to get rid of this. You know, I don't know. And, you know, the visualization may change, right? I might make a unified system where we can just have the inventory just be displayed as a list, because under the hood, it is a flat list of game objects anyway, with a grid vector 2i kind of keyed representation of that data. So, I mean, it can kind of go, I don't know, like anyway. I'm not 100% sure. Like I kind of like, I really like PUBG. I really like, you know, I don't like Tetris-y kind of inventory to that degree, but I think visually seeing things creates, like, if I were to list all these things, I would be scrolling at this point. You know what I mean? You know, so I just kind of want to make sure that we kind of, you know, we have a balance, you know, but there's no real, like, concrete, you know, why do it this way versus another way. But all I have left to do is get sorting going. Like, sorting of the data is happening, you know, for the items, but like for the slots themselves. And then there's a few more things I need to add, but wherever we are tomorrow is kind of where it's going to be for the time being. New World is list base. Let me take a look at that real quick. I'm mostly just interested in, well, just getting it done. I mean, that doesn't look list-based to me. That looks like item icons. Or draggable item icons. So it's list-based mixed with grid. Basically auto layout, but does categories for every item. I do like categorization. Well, you can't move stuff around. Like, things in cooking are in cooking, and that's it. It's auto layout into these categories. I gotcha. And you can sort. Work really well. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna play around with it. It's one of those things, you know, less management. But like you still drag onto it, I'm assuming, to like take it, or you just click once to move it from A to B. No dragging. So click to move. So it just automatically moves to left to right when you click it. What about for equipment? Like, you know, how does it know what slot something goes into? Or is it just comparing it by category and just moving it and reorganizing it by category? I think equipment you could drag. Gotcha. Like, what if I want, like, one, like, you know, like, what determines the ordering of the auto slots based on category if you double click? Gotcha. Yeah, that works well. That's so the idea is when we need to add like a storage chest or something in the ship, but there will be like a personal storage in the ship itself. So when we like go up to like a, well, I won't call it a chest, but like a storage locker, you get left side ship, right side player. You know, you can move things back and forth between your backpack and the ship, and you know, between the item slots and the ground. What about for dropping things? Like right now, it's inventory management. But what if you just have your regular inventory open, like not necessarily the item management, because it looks like he's interacting with the whatever you want to call it, like the storage shed. So what if you just want to drop something on the ground in New World? How does that look? 'Cause I don't see like a ground or a drop or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure we don't duplicate it. The general idea when it comes to inventory, we also show inventory management be critical gameplay experience. I don't think inventory management should be like a big deal. Right, as long as you're able to collect things, and there's not a lot of variation of different components in the game. Ship components and whatnot are too big to be stored personally, so they're more like, you know, a lot of that stuff is physicalized. You know, once it is stored in your hangar, then it is itemized in the sense that you can move it between, you know, storage locations, but you're really just spawning it or storing it, aka like despawning it. But for a lot of small stuff like medical pans, different types of weapons, different variations, you know, just needing to get them. Yeah, how's it doing it? Oh, I see what's happening. I guess Subnautica is a good example as well. They have like different sized items, but the inventory is always auto sorted. Gotcha. I think I have Subnautica. Yeah, apparently I don't. Nope, I don't. Okay, so add to our buttons array. Reset the item buttons. And a review index. And then we'll just validate if buttons index. It's out of range. I will be right back. I gotta use the washroom again. Right. I need to do, yeah. I think I think we might just redraw the inventory instead of trying to move them around. Just nuke them and then re-add them to match the data. Even though it's technically less performant, it's still much easier. We're back. Oh, what are we doing? Yeah, so in sort, remove item. Oh yeah, we're removing it. One, three, three. Let's go over a duplicate of the grid and making changes to the grid. Are you going to sync the entire inventory to each player? Yep. Why are we out of range and specifying territory grid sort? 354. Alright, this shouldn't be out of range. It should be checking it. Maybe it's not null, but still empty, or still defined as something. I was looking at only sync to equipped gear. If that player swaps out gear, then send no specific items to reduce the network traffic. Oh yeah. Yeah. So the equipment is synced to the player individually. Like, you know, I can open up the inventory and see them, but only the only equipment that's actually equipped is synchronized over the network. Like, it doesn't matter what's inside a backpack, you know what I mean? You can't see inside a player's backpack, so that would never be visible to them. Unless I want to like have some type of like ability to disarm someone, or like, I don't know, steal something from their backpack, or when they die, maybe if they're lootable, you know what I mean? Because that could be kind of cool. You know, you kill them or something like that on the ground, like, you know, being able to loot them. But I mean, that would just be a query on its own. Yeah, but I guess at that time, as the player starts the interaction to loot or steals items, you could just add like 0.5 seconds delay as a search and send those items to the player on it. Yep. And then, you know, because it's just sending a list, you know what I mean, of item IDs, you know, to the player, you know, populating a version of the inventory, just like you'd see in your own backpack when they be the player's backpack. And then when you're looting them, you're just sending those commands to the server, you know, loot inventory ID, whatever the GUID would be. And the server is making those transactions, you know. So you're just getting a list of, you know, data, you know, items that you need to kind of present. And then you choose whether you want to loot it or not, you know, or loot everything. Yes, okay. Yeah, get rid of these. Yeah, it's just sorts out of range. It's trying to. I guess I might have a bit more complex items with the standard RPG formula. Each item is a bunch of stats, maybe some unique effects, so there becomes like a lot more data. Yeah, per item. Yeah, especially if the item if the items are generated uniquely. Like in my case, like if a gun's properties are based upon the attachments, then the only thing I would need is the ID of the asset and the IDs of the attachments, because each client has all of the assets and all of the game objects, right? So it can, you know, display that just by knowing, you know, what the item resource is, right? What those references are, like which attachments exist on that gun and what is the gun. So there isn't like, you know, a wisdom stat or a specific health stat, or like, you know, they're not unique in that regard. So it's a little bit easier. Hi from possibly maybe E&E's. Oh, that sounds yummy. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to do it that way. Two-piece fish chips. Yeah, that sounds really yummy. I'm like so tired. Work's crazy this week. And I want to do art so bad. I want to kind of like dig in and just do some Blender. But I need to get this working. Anyway, we're not going to sort for the time being. Let me remove that sort. I think it's because we're iterating through all available item slots and we're saying, hey, does that item exist? Okay, cool, rekey it, but it's I think it's not empty. I think the null check's failing. So I'm gonna redo it a little bit differently. Yeah, and there's also, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that right now or not. Inventory slot button, inventory grid button, item button. We could do stack support. Stack support would technically be on the button. We want to fix the line. Yeah, this is a line. Hey, Steve, how's it going? I, unluckily but predictable, became very exhausted a few weeks ago, so getting very little done on my project. That sucks. It's kind of weird, like effort comes and goes. Like sometimes you just get absolutely burnt out, you know, you're just like, oh man, you know, it's just one of those things. Yeah, we need like a padding. Can we do like theme override padding? Padding, line spacing, line outline. Alright, so I want to do vertical line bottom. So bottom right. Auto wrap no. Frame nothing. Or technically do minus on X. Yeah, if we do bottom right, and we say that this is auto expanding, and we put it in a control mode. Yeah, let's do count, and then label count. Throw that in here. We'll make this be anchored to bottom right. And then this one, anchor bottom right, just minimum size. And I want it to be clipped. And then clipping. We trim. Yeah, I guess it's gonna clip anyway. No. Wait, what? Hang on, I have not showed up for work in 2 weeks now. I just stopped showing up, told my managers to message me if I'm needed. Oh, that's not good. You mean like work, not just your own personal projects. Fail to build. Set item count. item label count. Yep. Next is count. Two string. And now everything we do is going to have 9,999, but you know. It's not quite legible. It needs to be moved up a little bit. Yeah, it's sorting is still messing up. Like, stop breaking. $78.12 seems okay with me. Morning. 18, don't look that bad. 16. I don't really mind that. Yeah, where are we actually running grid sort? Yeah, I'm just gonna attempt to sort the buttons. Yeah, yeah, these sorting functions are not working. We need to read that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna rebuild instead of sorting. Just clear them and iterate over the inventory, re-add them to the scene. And not have them draggable like within themselves. Like don't worry about, like I don't care about players reorganizing them. They can sort them by category and whatnot. Yeah, and then when we select. Why is this not, okay. Yeah, let's do, inventory, yes, just do a redraw. That instead. And then we'll do grid. Then we're adding things in the inventory. Add item. Yeah, we're adding it to the inventory here. So for the grid item button. Get next resell. Yeah, we can just do this over again pretty much. And rebuild the grid item. Yeah, so let's just add the item. Add button. And the only thing that this really needs is the same item that we're adding. Yeah, we can clean this up. So this is only adding the button representation of that item. And shading, adding it to our list. Recalculating and resubscribing to the pressed event. Then when we have redrawing, if our inventory count. Don't redraw. We're going to clear all children. Get children.
І швидко поєдинок чугунна.
And it wants us to use link. It doesn't matter. Alright, so this should nuke everything and just re-add the buttons. And then so once we do a remove, and we're doing this on a duplication of it. So that iteration is fine. No. Key already exists. Second. Hey, Practical NPC coming in with a raid of 63 viewers. How you guys doing? I'm in the middle of breaking new inventory system that I'm working on right now. So things are not working, and I guess I could turn off the redraw functionality here real quick, just so I can actually get it to work. So for multiplayer, what I'm trying to do this week is have a full UI set up so that we can, you know, have our items. Awesome, we broke our stuff too. Oh no. Right, so I can add items, right? We can take our items, equip them, right? Take the gun, equip it. You know, we can drag things down to the ground. Oh. Right, so it's a very simple kind of drag and drop, like, you know, inventory system that represents, you know, the data. And I want to kind of have this kind of finished because I want to be able to kind of drop things on the ground and kind of, you know, let me actually just take a moment and I'll kind of show you guys what I've been working on. It's been a while since, I don't know, some of you guys have been around, but I've been mostly working with a lot of gray box stuff. Lately I've been finishing a lot of the actual final art for the characters. We're working on backpacks right now, trying to get, you know, just this whole week is just inventory system work. So I finally had the main male character and female character in the game. I'm just going to kind of give you guys the quick little tour. A lot of broken things right now because we're in the middle. The whole new inventory system rework stuff is, you know, breaking everything, breaking components, breaking items that are spawned in. Everything, even the IK system gets broken. So for those that, you know, just kind of tuning in, my name's, you know, Captain Revere. I'm working on a space game called Unforgiven Space, where you're kind of buying cargo and selling it and, you know, kind of going all over the universe and, you know, kind of making reputation. So in this process this week, I've been doing more destruction to everything because I'm rescaling out the ship a little bit. I'm adding in bottom panels. that are openable, and you know, kind of it's in a rough shape for demonstrating. But let me close out the other stuff that I have running here, so stuff's not running slow. And it really doesn't like it when I have another version of Godot running, or when I'm running Blender in ray tracing mode. Come on, give to me the frames. Blender! Lots of Blender. Come on. I don't know why when I'm in my... Come on. Update. Still need to learn that. Blender is amazing. Oh, I can have my frames back. I would have to like reload it so that we could actually get the frame rate back. The game does run that like pretty normally, pretty good FPS, but sometimes I gotta relaunch Godot. This is the curse of showing things off. The curse of showing things off is that whenever you're going to showcase something, that's when it'll run into issues. Right? Because it is buttery smooth. So yeah, so we have our main character model. All the animations are now in. Right, we have crouch and sneaking. See, everything is nice and smooth. Right, all the IK and stuff like that's working. So just to kind of demonstrate, let me. So this would be like, you know, things that you can do. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of random items here real quick. Right. Hi, UI. Right, you can kind of decorate your environment. Right, so these are all like item boards you can snap things in. Will it be a VR game? I'm not sure. I'm still kind of I'm considering like VR support, but it kind of depends on how well things perform in VR. But there's definitely lots of cool things we can do with it with VR, you know. But right, so like all of the exterior stuff, like our little pylons are now kind of broken because I'm redoing the you know, a lot of the exterior. So like all the item components are physicalized, so you can like take off all the items, put them back on. Just we're missing like there's like a pylon here. All this is like exported stuff that I'm kind of working on now. And everything in the ship is customizable like that. Like this door is now broken because I'm redoing the exterior. Right, but this is what the ship looks like. Did you also? Oh yeah. It's all Blender. Right, and just for testing, I have like this medical module here. This whole medical module has each one of these rooms have an entire exterior. You know, we have warp. Right, and warp just gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. But yeah, the character is a bit high in the seat, so I got to kind of redo a lot of the animations, like a lot of stuff like the free look. The character is kind of a little bit, you know, he's kind of looking a little bit up, a little bit too high, just because of the way the character is kind of bent to sit in the seat. But there's like a bunch of stuff this in the last few weeks that I'm kind of really trying to get, you know, finalized and actually working. But I'll kind of show you guys what works in multiplayer, just so you can kind of, you know, get a good feel for things. Like an Elite Dangerous type, exactly. Yep, more like a very light version of SC. So we'll do a little multiplayer test, just to kind of show you. So here's Universe Online. We're gonna run 2 builds. We're gonna use Fixable as our demonstration. Pick a color. Okay, so I'm gonna just host. So we have, just as an example, there's 100 NPCs kind of walking around between different waypoints. So we're gonna join as Fixable. Ignore the inventory toggling. See, it's me working on it. Pick a color, Fixable. Any color at all. Light blue. So check this out. So here, just give it a second for all the NPCs to sync. There's a lot of data here. And they do have colliders. So yeah, so here's Fixable. Fixable's in the game. All of Fixable's IK systems are fully working. Right? All the different weapons are fully working. You can see the crouch animations. You know, weapons. So let's go over here. And then Fixable's gonna spawn in their ship. And I'm just gonna head over to the front to kind of showcase. So I'm just like the server character, but I'm gonna watch, and we're gonna have Fixable come over here and just kind of give the ship a little nudge. You can see they have authority over it. You can see Fixable interacting, you know, with the seats. You can see the seat animations are all synced up. You know, they're actually getting in the cockpit. All the weapon systems are online. So if we come over here and take a look, you know, you can see all the weapon systems are working. And we're going to take off and warp over to this planet while, you know, I'm just kind of chilling out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kill the warp drive. I'm going to go land on this planet real quick. And I'm just going to wait. Alright. So let's go and join our friend here. Heading back to town. Oh, cool. Yeah, drive safe. Right, so you can see there's Fixable ship way down there on the planet. And if we just kind of head down. I'm gonna ignore the gravity being weird, but yeah, so here we are on planet side. There's planetary gravity. If I run away and kind of just keep on running, the curvature of the planet will be noticeable. And we just, you know, it would take an hour and 30 minutes to go around a 500-meter planet. You see, we're continuously being aligned to the gravity. Even all the projectiles are affected by the gravity. You can see the drop. Oh yeah, so it's meant to be very light, you know? Yeah, I'm showing right now. I'm trying to get all the weapon systems dynamically loading into the. So here we're gonna come up here and oh god, gravity's not working in multiplayer right now. Here, I'm gonna join. There we go. Right, so we're gonna take off and we're gonna leave that ship and we're gonna go back together. Hey Braxton, thanks for the follow. Right, so literally I have two people. I have my little buddy with me. Actually, I'm gonna drop him off here at this camera. Okay. All right, thanks for the ride. And then we're gonna go. We'll just head back and land. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. Bye bye. Have a good one, Vixable. Let me give Practical a shout out here. But yes, this is Unforgiven Space. It's going to, you're going to have all kinds of cool, options for turning off non-com rays, and it's kind of hard to. Things are a little bit kind of broken in the current state of things, but empty testing is a little bit better to kind of demonstrate. Because it has a little bit of everything. You can spy on your ship, you can buy your cargo. Right, so we'll have vehicles, kind of land vehicles. Right, there's an NPC ship coming into land. We can jump inside a land vehicle, kind of drive around. Uses the standard Godot vehicle controller. Right, this is like mostly the tests. So usually just buying cargo and selling it, putting it on the ship, going from point A to point B. We have mining lasers for actual mining. Working tractor beams. Buy your components, put them on chip. But anyway, let me give Practical a shout out here. If it'll let me. If you guys aren't following Practical, you should definitely give them a follow. But yeah, so this is Unforgiven Space. Like I said, there's a lot more, there's a lot of this stuff, but yeah, you kind of see like the gist of it. So what I'm trying to get working now is the character creator and a lot of the inventory systems. I want to be able to drop an item on the ground, have another player pick it up, equip it, and have that whole kind of handshake. I want to like make sure the player doesn't have any equipment by default, and that they must go and like buy the equipment and equip it and kind of like get a lot of that multiplayer functionality actually working. Yeah, Practical is definitely a nice Godot streamer. So that's pretty much it. Like, the ship is fully customizable. You have all the different ship components, so you can attach to the ship. You can bring the ship into the hangar, kind of pull off everything, pull it on. Or, there's pretty much a whole huge, selection of, it's kind of like car mechanic simulator when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like everything's upgradable. I'll be able to show it off a bit more next week or in the next 2 weeks, I guess. Because I had to redo a lot of the panels and stuff like that for the ship, so they actually open up and you can, actually interact with it. Because the final version of the ship, a lot of it's all enclosed, so you can't really gain access to it. But yeah. So now it's just, working on the inventory. ignore the 9999 as well. That's just me. I'm getting things ready for, you know, the ability to have multiple items and vice versa. Yeah, so we want, I'm going to add a temporary button. Let's see, maybe we can stick it. Yeah, maybe we'll add another control. Yeah, it's a test build for now. Ignore the possible bugs, guys. That's pretty much the way it goes. That's the life of things. Let's do 50. And then in this control, we're gonna add a button. I'm gonna add some debug buttons for the sake of debug. Just to see if it actually works. And thanks for the follow. And then let's set. So let's make an export category. Or export group. This will be part of our buttons. And then we'll add a redraw. And then I'm ready. Let's do redraw. First, and we're going to do on button redraw first. And then we're going to do grid.redraw. Which I think is private. Yeah, so let's make this public. Need to go now. I wish you a nice stream. Happy dev. Yeah, thanks again, Fixable. Yeah, it's been fun working on a lot of this stuff. I'm really, you know, I'm glad that we can actually kind of do a lot of the player customization that works in the main build. I just can't wait to get the inventory system in, you know. Like, it's so close to being playable. Yeah, so we'll use our grid function. And then other buttons. So this one button is going to be renamed. So to be button redraw. Button redraw. So if we add a bunch, and then we equip this one, redraw should resort it. And it's totally not. So Reb, will you be working on some of the random geoformation for planets? Yep. Yep. There's going to be like procedural generation for all of the planets, really. Right? It's just going to be each one's going to be like a little bit different. But I think a lot of the planet tech stuff won't be worked on until like sometime in the beginning of the new year, probably over the next probably like Christmas break is when I'll probably do a lot of research and development on it. I have a lot of prototypes working now, like early prototypes of it, but a lot of it is still either too complicated or just not like good enough. Yeah, so this is not doing it. And I'm wondering if it's the yeah, he exists in 186. No free available slot, and so we're not sorting anymore. Yeah, redraft. An add button. Yeah, for each item's in the inventory. We're running add button, which gets our free index. Oh, so I can't really kill. Yeah, no, the item grid should be cleared. With the refresh. Item grid should be empty. And then for each item in the inventory, add button should be working. Because this should now be reset. And this should be valid because we're adding it to putting our position, setting the item buttons. So item grid needs to be nuked and item buttons need to be nuked. Oh, yeah, okay. So refresh the grid, refresh the buttons. Go through the inventory and re-add them. And then the old one should be renewed and we should be good. Alright, good, that works. So that might be the better approach for the time being. Is just reshuffling them. Alright, now we need to make sure we're not dragging things. Okay. Alright, another quick bathroom break. Gonna get some more water. How's it going, David? Uh, so the redraw function seems to work, which is good. I don't know why redraw brings up a selection. Yeah, I think, oh yeah. We want to actually use the buttons to actually do the start drag. Ba-dum-ba-dum. If we have a mouse button down, body select. And then you can try to get something item. Yeah, so I'm getting a select item and release check. Oh yeah, because that wasn't it. Select item. This should be doing select item in grid, only within the grid. It's not. Oh, in the inventory grid. Yeah, try to get value, self-selected. But in reality, we actually want to do it rect. Yeah, we want to actually validate that we're within. So then now we're selecting it in the grid. Just to make it easier. Now we should only be seeing, right, select item in a grid when we're in a grid. Cool. That's a little bit more stable. Yeah, because we also want select item in a grid. Are we getting it twice? We are. Yeah, so we really want to do and no spot and dot pressed. So now we should only be getting one call. Right, the one call, one release, one call, one release. When the grid is changing our index. Yeah, now we're not accidentally, because before what was happening when we were selecting it here, we were still selecting it over here as well. Yeah, and now we just need to on drop or on release. So if we're releasing, right? So if we're in the grid, we're going to check if item to add item. Yeah, so we're going to verify it. First, we're going to say if selected item dot if item selected dot source item source is the inventory. We're going to return. In other words, if we're dropping stuff into the grid and it's from the grid, it's from the inventory, we'll just return. So if I add a bunch of items, I shouldn't be able to move them within the space. So when we click, we do want to actually deselect them. We're going to run a reset on it. We can't move them around yet. We don't want to. We only want to be able to move things out of our slots into our items, from our items into our slots. To be able to resort them, drop them on the ground, drop them on the ground from our slots or into here and then down on the ground. Now we just need to redraw on the any remove action, really. Whenever we're doing any type of remove action on the grid. Whenever we're removing a button. Right, so this removes everything. Yeah, so for each of our created items. Yeah, if we're iterating, through our clone. We've already removed it. Yeah, we should be okay to leave here. And we don't worry about sorting. I think that'll be stable. And then I think this is it. I think we can now go add a bunch of crap. This one and this one in. This one. It works. It has issues, but it, you know, this covers all the bases. So we'll need to get, like, later on, we'll need to get stacking. We'll need to get the actual grid system more stable, or we're just literally storing state of the grid so we can actually drag things around if we want to. As well as sizing and sorting needs to be, like, real sorting needs to still be a thing. Redrawing is a bit of a hack, but, you know, less code. So you don't really need to inform the player that we've changed the inventory. We can remove a lot of these debug features and start kind of optimizing and cleaning things up. Hmm. If input is mouse motion, then we're moving it. I think that can just stay there in the function. I think it needs to be its own method. And I don't think this needs to be a thing. Right, that is the oh yeah, there's a little bug in the slots. Yeah, so we're gonna have that item. We're gonna have a swap. I'm gonna raid someone out here in a little bit. I'm gonna get some more of this stuff out to pick up. All right, so I'm gonna end it here on my other socials, and we'll get ready and we're gonna raid someone. I'm gonna have lunch in just a bit, and we'll see you guys either later on this evening or tomorrow.